Get ready to reclaim your life, discover inspiring stories, practical tools, and the path to true happiness. This is Reclaim Your Life with Irina. Let's begin the journey. Before we start the next conversation, I want to invite you to check out my amazing book, The Gift Inside, a powerful guide for healing your body, mind, and soul. Reclaim your strengths and awaken your true potential. Whether you are navigating heartbreak or simply seeking deeper fulfillment, this book offers the tools to turn your struggles into triumphs. It is time to unlock the gift within you. Available now on Amazon, or you can check it out on my website www.irinashahovtsov.com. Hello and welcome to Reclaim Your Life with Irina. Today we have another Irina, a special guest, Irina Synychak, joining us from Canada. She is motivated by a burning passion for holistic wellness. As a holistic wellness coach and a motivational speaker, Irina integrates a holistic approach to health and wellness that also involves stress management, exercise therapies, as well as stress management body work and mindfulness therapies to achieve a harmonious balance of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Irina's mission is empowering overwhelmed entrepreneurs on their personal health and wellness journey so that they can experience greater vitality, inner peace, fulfillment, and purpose and wholeness. And recently, Irina wrote her first book, The Calm Entrepreneur. So welcome, Irina.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Yes, it's here. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. Thank you, Irina.
Thank you. You are passionate about holistic wellness. Was there a personal turning point in your life when you realized that true well-being had to involve mind, body, and spirit together and not just one dimension?
Yes. So the reason also behind writing this book as well, that was one of the reasons, because I lived this experience myself. I thought that, if I could only have a consistent workout routine, have a healthy lifestyle, eat well, right? Then everything is going to kind of fall into place, right? But then through the years, I realized that just focusing on one dimension of health is not enough, right? I realized that there were emotional patterns from my past that I had to address and deal with. Also the stress over the years that I went through were affecting, my well-being as well, right? So I was really struggling. And then I also was struggling in my purpose, in my fulfillment, right? So I understood, that I was detached from that. So I came to realize through many years of observation, research, and my lived experience, and through my career experience, right, that you have to integrate holistic approach to health and wellness, So all these dimensions have to be weaved together to work, for optimal health and wellness, right? To achieve results that you're looking for in your life. And as a personal trainer, certified personal trainer myself, I worked with many entrepreneurs, business owners, right? People who were trying to take care of their health, which is a good thing. But at the same time, I could see that there was a big imbalance between their personal life, their business life, their health struggles, right? And I understood that, again, just one aspect of your wellness is not enough, right? So you have to address all dimensions of a whole person. And that's, I think, from that tension, this book was born. And this is, the Calm Entrepreneur method that I really want to communicate to entrepreneurs, CEOs, and overall high achieving leaders that really, really need this. Yeah.
Totally. I can totally relate to overall wellness because, when you focus on one, it's like putting a band-aid on a wound that's not going to heal. You gotta look at everything together because we operate in those states of being simultaneously. Like right now we're having conversation, but meanwhile so many processes are happening. Maybe there are thoughts in our head, and digestion is happening and some other processes that we don't even realize. So totally understand where you're coming from.
It's like, like there is a chain reaction, right? So it's like if one link is eventually worn out over time, and you focus, and many people, I think, they don't even realize like why what's happening in the background, right? Because if you're not aware of it, that's why it's so important to bring awareness to it, right? And many people are not aware. Actually, there is this great book. It's a New York Times bestseller by Daniel Siegel. I don't know if you've heard about this book. And the book is called Aware. And there is also a workbook that's Becoming Aware. And that's actually about the same thing, right? How important to bring awareness to people. And so it's like, as I said, it's like a keychain reaction, when one link of your health becomes so weak and worn out, right? Like as a result of stress, then, everything else starts kind of crumbling and falling apart. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. You work with overwhelmed entrepreneurs. What are some of the most common signs that someone is burning out, and how can they begin to shift before it's too late?
Some of the signs, I think, is a really, really overwhelming feeling that comes not being able to manage, right? And you feel like you can't keep your emotions regulated, right? Like you can snap at people, in your business. I think the energy in your business will be very shifted as a result of things that are not working, going smoothly. It will show in the productivity, right? It will show in performance of if you're a bigger company, it will show in the performance of employees who are working for your business, right? It will show up in absenteeism of employees as well, right? So all these factors, right? And as a leader, right, of your company, as a business leader, it is your job, right, to take a pause and ask, like, well, something is happening, I feel, I kind of like, person will feel like they're losing control, right? And they might not understand what is happening, right? And then again, it shows up in your physical symptoms as well, right? Like you may not have good rest, you may start having maybe some digestion problems, right, as a result of stress, right, and overwhelm. So things like that. For everybody, it may be, it may be different for different people. And then it will show up in your relationships, right? Not just in your business relationships, but in your personal close relationships as well. So things like that to look for. And again, yes, so awareness of all these things is very, very important. Yeah, and then coming and starting, it's not necessarily that you have to just, eat kale and work out, like, and you have to 100% invest, in your workout, in your healthy eating, in your healthy lifestyle. So it's not even doable or possible to invest so much of your attention and time to work on all those aspects, right? But it's about creating balance within all those dimensions, like your body, your mind, your emotional, your spiritual, when it comes to your purpose and values, why you're doing what you're doing. And also, it's a lifestyle design, right? Creating systems around your business that are sustainable in a long term. Yeah.
Totally. Thank you. Thank you. What was the moment in your life that kind of shifted you that you decided to pursue this role? When did you understood that you needed to embrace all four states of beings and started your journey to doing the work that you do now?
Well, I think, Irina, it started a long time ago. It was a life journey, I think, of many, many years. We're looking back when I had a very traumatic experience when I was very young. I think that was probably like a big spiritual shift that happened within me that triggered all the trauma from my past, right? So the trauma that happened, like, Gabor Mate, right? The author and famous doctor, so that wrote so many books on trauma, and he says that trauma is not what happens to you, but it's the result of trauma. It's what happens after the trauma that happens to you, right? And that's very true. So in my childhood, I experienced a lot of trauma. I went through abuse, and then later on, as a older teenager, I had abusive relationships. And so when this incident happened in our home, it was like a premeditated murder, basically, so that we were able to escape and be alive after all that happened. So that was a very turning point for me in my life, where I where I started searching meaning and purpose, and that was the beginning of my healing journey in my life, right? So I believe that healing is a continuous journey, right? I don't think that healing happens instantly, and that's what the beginning of it was. So and as years went by, and I through a lot of personal self-development, my personal research, the education in communication field, and working in a, health and wellness field, I, through a lot of observation over the years, I came to realize that, yes, we have to look at a person as a whole, right? And especially when you are an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you are CEO, that I think is even more important, because there is so much pressure and so many demands that come with it, right? And I think it's so important to offer these services to entrepreneurs and business owners and CEOs, because, in a fast-paced world that we are living right now, the pressure is very high, the levels of stress are very high. Actually, according to research from the American Institute of Stress, it shows that workout stress costs U.S. businesses over $300 billion in like lost productivity, absenteeism, and healthcare costs, right? That was yet in 2019, I'm sure that number probably is much higher today, right, as of now. So yes, so again, it's very important, like we often think of business owners, that, you have to hustle, you have to work hard, you have to, I haven't slept I worked for 14 hours straight. I was, on meetings, like to emails and all that, right? Like to make sure you bring in sales, you bring in profitability. It's of course it's a big part of business, but I think the new competitive advantage that is coming and that I'm understanding, the opposite of burnout and stress and hustle, is taking this calm approach to leading as a business owner, as entrepreneur. You have to find calm, and from that will lead towards productivity and high performance and profitability, and all those things are going to lead to that.
Thank you so much. You're so right. Stress management is at the core of your work. Through therapy, body work, and mindfulness, what's one simple daily practice that anyone listening could try today to feel more grounded?
I practice breath work a lot. Like I do it on a daily basis. I try at least once a day in the morning, aim at in the morning and before I go to bed to have breath work. It really regulates, your nervous system breath work. And since I started practicing, I really notice big results, right? That's one thing. And you can take only 5 minutes in a day to do that. You can start with 5 minutes. Consistency, of course, is a big thing. But again, people don't have to start breath work. I'm going to do it every day. Okay, so start with every other day, right? Start with 2 minutes, so just start and see how much you're going to benefit, your health, because breath work, it regulates your nervous system, it regulates your emotions, right? It regulates, your mind becomes clear, so you're going to be able to make clear decisions as a leader. Another thing that I also practice is meditation. There is so many different kinds of meditation, right? So I like doing guided meditation. I like visualization meditations, right? They are also very good in helping you achieve, your goals, your business goals or your personal goals. And of course, movement is a very big part of it, right? Of your health journey. Movement is so vital to your health and well-being. So absolutely, movement. Again, it doesn't have to be a crazy workout. You can just start with stretching your body in the morning before you take off. And again, it can be 5-10 minutes. That's good enough. So again, I think start with small steps and increase, as you go in a month, in a week. Start with bigger, smarter goals when it comes to your wellness and see how it's going to take off, not just your personal wellness, but how your business is going to be affected by how you feel yourself, physically, emotionally, how that energy is going to transmit into your business, into the people you work with.
Thank you. Yeah, those are powerful practices. I haven't tried breath work. I do meditation, gratitude, and movement. Those are my three ones. And I call meditation the inner shower of the mind. As we like to wash our body, or if we gotta do some brainwashing.
And I think meditation is a really great tool to cultivate calm, right? And when you start meditating, you actually realize how scattered your mind is all over the place, right? Like how your thoughts are just all over the place. It's actually incredible, right? And yes, but that's how you sit there in quietness and you just observe your thoughts, right? And being in that present moment, I think it's so, underrated how important it is to cultivate that present moment and the calm, right? So yes, there are tools. We just gotta start using them for our own benefit, for the benefit that it will provide for our businesses and in the long term, I'm talking about the long-term sustainability, because again, hustle and stress and just go hard, no break. It's not sustainable. Yeah.
What is one superpower you have?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that before, but yes, I think I can easily approach people. That's something, something innate in me. I think I love people, and regardless of their status, I think, I can approach any person and start a conversation and, kind of show people show the person, how important they are. Show interest in a person. I think that's something that I just have, and something that I like doing, approaching people, it can be, if it's somewhere in, we are in some gathering, and somebody maybe caught my attention in some way, the person I never met before, I can easily approach the person and start conversation with them.
Yeah, true. I've seen you in action. So.
I think a lot of, I know there are people, they struggle with that, but I think it comes from this knowing inside that we all long for connection with others. I think connection is such a big thing. I think that's where it comes from. Yeah, just connecting.
Yes, that's an awesome trait to have, a superpower to have.
Yeah.
On this podcast, we often talk about reclaiming happiness and fulfillment. How do you personally create inner peace and wholeness, especially when life feels chaotic?
I think I spend, because, calm is something that we choose. I think at any moment, regardless of the circumstances in our life, that we, it's coming from the place, of understanding and accepting that there are circumstances in our life that are out of control, that things will happen in our life that are out of our control. And understanding this simple truth that we are not in control of those things, but we are always in control to choose the response. And I think the best response is always calm, because it comes from, again, of many years of lived experience and observation and research, and realizing that when I ground myself and I try to regulate my emotions, the clarity comes, right? I can see the picture clearer. I can see, maybe what decision I should make in this certain circumstance, right? It's almost like, to give you, like, I like thinking and even teaching in metaphors, right? So if you can imagine you are in the water, right? And let's say you are walking in the water, and you either, you walk, you make splashes, and you try to look down and see, the rocks beneath. You can't, right? Because it's not clear, right? You can't see anything, but once you stand still and let the water calm, you can see through and you can see clearly. It's the same, with our mind, with our inner world, right? So yes, so calm is something you choose, and I just, as years went by, I choose more and more often, to choose calm instead of stress, right? Being stressed, feeling overwhelmed, and worrying and working up myself, right? Instead, I take this different approach of calm and looking at the situation from afar, right? And the second thing that I do, I cultivate calm. So you can choose calm and you cultivate calm. And again, the tools that I use, I spend a lot of time in nature, because nature, if you look at nature, nature is all about calm, right? You look at the scenery, you look at the beautiful calm lake, and so you cultivate, you take in the calm of nature. And other things, I pray and meditate, and I love reading. So reading is something that grounds me and brings me a lot of calm and peace. So those are some of the things that I do.
What's one of your favorite books that had a big impact in your life that you can recommend?
Yeah, a few books. I guess, I like reading a lot of books on natural medicine, right? So those are non-fiction books. Mostly I read non-fiction books. So I think I mentioned before that one of the books I really enjoyed is called The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck, who is a doctor. And it's basically, he talks about this psychology of love and traditional values and spiritual growth, all those things that are important for me. When it comes to your mindset, few books that really impacted me was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. What else? Also, the New York Times bestseller, If You Know You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. It was a great book. What else? I guess The Secret impacted many lives as well as mine. And Joe Vitale, his books are a lot to do on the law of attraction. So I read like a few of his books, The Attractive Factor, and something it's called about miracles. Forgot the exact title. But yeah, I really enjoy reading his books. He wrote many books, Joe Vitale. So he's a great author. So I think these are few of the books that really kind of stuck with me and really changed, the way of thinking for me and changing mindset. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, those are powerful. I've read, I like John Sincero, the You Are the Best.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's a great book. It's like a kick in the ass book. Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes we need those too.
Absolutely.
Your mission is to help people experience greater vitality and purpose. What vision do you hold for the future of wellness, and how do you see your work contributing to that shift?
Wow, that's a great question. I think that I'm really kind of on a mission right now to show entrepreneurs, just locally here, but I think to show world entrepreneurs this the calm growth path or the calm entrepreneur method of leading your business, right? And showing that the hustle and burnout now being replaced by balance and purpose, right? And again, that, the success is business right now is no longer kind of defined by exhaustion and hustle, but more by sustaining the lasting wellness and sustaining your business growth, right? And so showing that without your personal growth, you cannot really grow your business, right? Because eventually it's like a fuel tank, that drains, right? So if it's continuously drained and not fueled, eventually you're going to collapse. Your business, is going to collapse, right? So that's inevitable. So I'm just on a mission to bring that message across to as many entrepreneurs as I can. And so I'm really excited about the journey ahead and can't wait where it's taking me. And yeah.
Awesome. What is a key principle in your book? If you had to summarize it in a few sentences, what would you say?
Well, it would be that in this changing business world nowadays, Irina, that calm is becoming your new competitive advantage, right? It's a new competitive advantage for your personal growth and for your business growth. Absolutely. If you are looking long-term sustaining, your business and your business growth, right, continuously, I think it's very important to cultivate calm. And how do you cultivate it? Again, by weaving all 5 dimensions, your body, your emotions, your spiritual health and well-being, and your lifestyle design, right? So all these dimensions have to work together in harmony to lead you, on your path of growth and on your path of growing your business successfully, growing successfully as a person, as a whole person. So that's my
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything I haven't asked that you would like to share?
Well, I don't know if people wanted to hear more, like, some things about me that people don't know, then I could share that I really love chocolate. Okay? I don't think I could live without chocolate. That's one thing. Another funny thing about me, when I was a little kid, me and my cousin, we spent our summers at the countryside of my grandparents. And we, in the village, every house used to take turns on a rotating basis to take cows from the whole village to the meadows for feeding, right? And so you had to go with the cows for the whole day and watch so they don't wander around, right? And then when it was time in the evening, you had to bring all those cows back to the village, right? And cows were very smart. They actually knew their way back pretty good to their houses. It's amazing how smart animals are. And so when we were going there were always goats, okay? One lady, she owned quite a few goats, and you know how the goats make goat sound, and I used to imitate goats. It was really fun, and I became so good at it. So when I would make a goat sound, the goats would turn their heads. It brings good memories back. That's funny. And I think that's where I fell in love with nature, with the calmness of nature. I think that's where it all originated. And and I think I still can make a goat sound, which I'm not going to do on your podcast. Oh, but that's just a fun fact about me. But
Very
now
well.
you know.
Awesome.
That's funny.
If people would like to connect and learn more about you, where would they go?
Yes, so my website is www.irinasynychak.com. So pretty simple, my name, full name. Yeah, go there, learn more about me. Yes, and so my book.
And where can people get your book?
My book is available on Amazon. Yes,
Awesome.
Become Entrepreneur. So yeah, thank you so much. I enjoyed our conversation a lot, and I hope that this podcast, will start bringing, awareness and my message across, and something that I deeply believe in, and believe in this work, and ready to continue on this journey, Irina.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. And I love your mission. And yes, we gotta look at all those 4 dimensions or 5 dimensions, as you say, bring calmness to life and not do the hustle and stress anymore, because it only leads to burnout. So thank you so much for coming. I love your mission and the journey you're on. I wish you success in all of your endeavors, and thank you for spreading the message. Thank you.
Thank you, Irina. Thank you. Such a pleasure being on your podcast and talking. Thank you so much for your time. Take care.